back. Today I'm going to be doing another story time. If you have not checked out my last story time, go check it out. I'm sure you guys will enjoy. However, let's jump into this next story time. This story time is about finding the love of my life. He's no longer in my life, so he really wasn't the love of my life, but at the time, he was. We're going to name this person Peter because I just don't want his name out there. But if you know, you know. Peter was my first, real love. I had a boyfriend before Peter, but this one was serious, okay? This one was I just don't even know how to explain it, but my heart was in it. Was his? No. In my last story time, I mentioned that I moved back to Chicago. And I've known Peter for a very long time. Because when I was first living in Chicago, his house was 3 houses away from mine. So when I started kindergarten, my mom and his mom became friends and they started walking us to school. And we just walked to school every morning together as kids. And I hated him as a kid. I could not stand him. He was my mom said that he would always try holding my hand when we were crossing the street. And I just...
No, you're annoying. Leave me alone. Okay, just leave me alone.
That all changed when I was 7 years old. And it was the weirdest thing ever. I already had moved by the time I was 7. So when I would visit my grandma, because where I first lived, I was living with my grandma. So when I would visit my grandma, I would see him playing soccer. And I was just so attracted to him while he was playing soccer. And I'm just wow, he's
so cute.
Why did I not like him back then? What? There was nothing different about him. He was still the same kid that I knew. And every time I visited my grandma and he was playing outside, I would go outside too just to see him play. And I would sit on this bench that my grandma would have outside in the front. And I would just watch him. And one day my mom came out and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing. I'm just
chilling out here."
Damn, what the hell? And I couldn't be in the front because I'm only 7 years old. What am I doing in the front? My mom's like, "Get inside." And I'm just like,
"What? Why?"
I went inside and then I would look out through the window to see if he was still out there. Dude, I was a freak. Ah! I'm so ugly. I was his little stalker at the time. And then one day I went back to visit my grandma and I didn't see him play soccer again. And every time I would go visit my grandma, I never seen him playing anymore. So I was like, what the hell? What happened to him? Where did he go? What? And I was a little brokenhearted, but it's cool, whatever. They come and they go. When I no longer seen him anymore, I just didn't care. I was just all right, whatever. It's over. My little crush is over. But when I moved back to Chicago for 8th grade, yeah, guess who I seen? I seen Peter. When I seen Peter, I was right next to the boyfriend that I had at the time who ended up cheating on me during the same time that I seen Peter. So it worked out, okay? It worked out. And I was also with my cousin and I looked at my cousin and I was like, Is that
Peter?
And he was like, "Yes, Jessica, stop. Don't even try it." And I was like,
"I'm gonna try it."
So me and Peter made eye contact. We connected souls. And he was walking with his group of friends. He was a freshman in high school while I was an 8th grader. And yeah, so then right after that, a day or 2 later, I find out that the boyfriend that I had was cheating on me. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Peace. Broke up. That was it. Done. Me and that other boyfriend were done. Okay. So then I let a couple of weeks go by and I messaged Peter. I was with my other cousin. I was like, should I message him? Should I not? I don't know what to do. My cousin was like, go for it. Why not? She's like, you never know. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, but I don't know though. And I was like, what? You're not helping now. First you say yes, but then you're like, I don't know. And now I'm just like, I don't know either. whatever. I ended up messaging Peter and I'm like, hey. And he was like, hey. I was like, do you remember me? And he was like, no. And I was like, that didn't hurt at all. Like, not at all. And I was like, I'm the girl who would walk with you and your mom, with my mom, to school. And he was like, oh, I remember now. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And so we started talking, and then he's like, I low-key had a crush on you when we were younger. And I was like, me too. Like, oh my gosh. Like, maybe not when we were like in kindergarten, but definitely when I was in 2nd grade, I started liking you. So I was like, oh my God, me too. And after that, we start flirting, and then we start getting to know each other, and everything's great, okay? Then Peter and I decide to hang out one day. So I'm gonna look cute this day, and I'm super excited because I'm gonna hang out with Peter. And I'm coming off the school bus to head towards where Peter told me to meet him, and the person who cheated on me, my ex, decides to want to walk with me. So he's trying to talk to me, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? Like, you had every other day to try to want to talk to me, and you chose this day. Are you kidding me? Whatever. So I'm walking still towards where I'm gonna meet Peter, and my ex is right next to me talking, and I'm just like, yeah, trying to be nice, but like I don't care if you do me wrong, honestly. That's your fault, not mine, okay? I will still treat you just as good as I did before, but I won't forgive you. I just won't, okay? So, yeah, and then Peter sees me with my motherfucking ex. We love that. We love that for me. We definitely love that for me. So Peter sees me and he just passes me, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
my heart. Why? After I end up walking around the whole freaking park that's there, I just end up meeting with my mom because Peter already passed me, and my ex finally finished speaking to me, and I just end up going to the park with my mom, and that was that. And then I get a freaking text from Peter, and he's like, hopefully I get to hang out with you alone one day. And I was like, that wasn't my fault. It really wasn't. That wasn't my intentions. I really didn't even know why that happened. I don't even know. I don't know. So I was like, yeah, I hope so too. Like, I have nothing to say to that. Like, that was not supposed to happen. So, yeah, whatever. Then I see Peter one day at the park because I'm going to get my brothers, and Peter was there. And Peter and I, like, lock eyes, but it was, like, the awkwardest thing ever because we didn't even say hi to each other. We didn't even say, like, hey, how's it going? Nothing. We just locked eyes and looked at each other and walked right past each other. That was it. That's all that happened. And so then he texts me. He's like, you can't even say hi. And I was like, neither could you. Peter and I continued to talk after all that. And 8th grade came to an end, and when I would go to my cousin's house, I would hang out with Peter during the summer. So one day, Peter and his friend and my cousin, we were all hanging out at this other park, and Peter starts asking me, like, what high school am I going to? And I'm just like, I'm going to this high school. I'm not. And he's like, why don't you go to my high school? And I was like, your high school? Nah, I'm good. Like, that is not where I want to go. Like, ew. And he's like, why not? Come on, you will get to see me every day. blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, like, I really don't want to go to that high school. And so the high school that I wanted to go to was giving me the biggest problem because I wasn't in that neighborhood and I had to do all of this macaroo, and I was not doing it. I was like, no, I guess I'm supposed to go to that high school. I don't freaking know. So I ended up going to high school with Peter. This high school was also the same high school that my cousin was going to, the one that I mentioned earlier in the story. Her name's Jasmine. She's also been in some of my vlogs, so if you have not seen them, go check them out. So she was going to this high school as well. She was a senior while I was a freshman, and it turned out to be good. Me going to that school turned out to be good because I had her, and like we would go to school together, or like we would just do our own shit together. So yeah, when I started high school, I didn't feel like I didn't know people, and plus half the people that I went to school with in 8th grade ended up going to that high school, so I was good. Yeah, then when I was going into school, I was going to my classes, and then I seen Peter, and I was like, hey, I'm here, what's up? I know I said I wasn't coming to this high school, but I'm here. And so he was like, do I get a hug? And I was like, yeah, you get a hug. So I would give him a hug. I would see Peter in the hallways sometimes, and like we would text after school, we would text during school, and then it came to the point where he was like, oh, let me walk you to school, and I was like, yeah, you can walk me to school. So we started walking to school every day, and he would walk me back to my grandma's, and that was just how freshman year went. And that is it for today's story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely be doing another story time on Peter. I just feel like this was good, like a good portion for this story time. There's a lot more that happened freshman year with Peter and I. So I'm going to leave that for another story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back soon.